Tents and hammocks look very similar, but they are two different types of shelters. Tents offer a strong, wind-resistant shelter and can be set up quickly. Hammocks are lightweight and easy to pack away in a small space. It all comes down to personal preference. Some campers prefer the convenience of a tent while others prefer the comfort of sleeping suspended above the ground with beautiful views. The key difference is that tents provide more privacy than hammocks because they have walls on 3 sides, whereas hammocks only have one side enclosed, with an open view facing upwards at the sky or ground below. One of the most important things to keep in mind when selecting a hammock or tent is that your weight must be considered when selecting the appropriate size for the shelter. The more you weigh, the heavier your gear should be. Conversely, light campers typically travel with lighter gear. Hammock camping is a relatively new concept that combines hammock and camping. Hammock camps are a great way to enjoy the outdoors without the hassle of setting up camp all night. Camping hammocks and tents protect from inclement weather and lightweight, so they are perfect for car camping, backpacking, or just about any casual outdoor activity. However, many people feel that hammocks take away some of the comforts of home, so they are not ideal for extended periods of use. While it is true that there are some similarities between tents and hammocks, there are also key differences. In the end, it all boils down to personal preference. If you don't mind getting a little dirt on your sleeping bag when camping or want an alternative to sleeping on the ground, then hammocks are the way to go. If you're in for an easy setup and want some privacy from pesky bugs, then tents are the shelters for you. Hammock camping is cheaper than most other types of camping or backpacking because it requires very few supplies. All that is required are 2 trees in locations that provide shelter from wind and weather with some space between them. Some hammocks can even be set up indoors. Hammock camping is also relatively lightweight compared to other types of camping. You will need to find trees for your hammock, but that's easy enough. Even a large family hammock will weigh less than the tent you may avoid. Hammocking offers a quiet, relaxing and healthy way to spend time outdoors. A hammock is also an effective way of conserving energy during your camping or backpacking trip. Of course, you will need to bring food and water if you plan on camping in the wild for a few days, so you may want to take along the backpack instead of just relying on the trees. Hammock camping is usually very safe and easy to set up instead of tents, which are more likely to get damaged if they are not well packed away properly. The gap between the 2 trees should be at least 30 cm for best results. Hammocks can be hard to set up, even for the experienced camper if the weather gets bad or if the trees are not in prime condition. Tents, on the other hand, can be easily set up with a minimum of fuss. They also offer protection from bugs and critters that might try to make their home in your hammock. More often than not, hammocks are designed for 1 or 2 people only. If you want more space or privacy, you'll need to bring along a tent instead of just relying on trees. The same goes for those who want to spend more time outdoors with a lot of camping gear. Hammocks don't offer as much protection from the elements as tents do. You will need to have a good quality rain fly with you if you plan on spending days in the wild. The same goes for hammocks designed for indoor use. A ground tarp or mat can be used underneath your hammock to help it last longer and keep you dry in case of rain or snow. Want to know the difference between a hammock and a tent that allows you to camp? Watch on. You want to be able to sleep comfortably and in comfort while camping. As one of the best ways of sleeping, this is the most important part for you when choosing where you can sleep during your trip. You have 2 options if you want a tent or hammock to be your best choice while camping. This is easy because it is the most basic type of camping you can do, especially if you are doing it alone or with just one other person. With this, you will need to bring a small picnic table with you and a sleeping bag. You have 2 options when it comes to how you will set up this tent. First, you can do it vertically or horizontally. For horizontal setup, all you need is to lay your sleeping bag on the ground and your picnic table alongside that, also called a floorless tent. For vertical setup, all you need is 1 pole for each corner of the side and attach them to form the roof. This is good if you are doing something like camping in a group with 2 or more people. Of course, you can still use this even if you are going camping alone. The big difference between a 1-person and 2-person tent is that the 2-person tent is bigger and has an extra room for the second camper. You have 1 option when it comes to setting up this type of tent as long as you have enough space. If you do not have enough space, then it will be a lot harder to erect the tent. The regular setup is the same as a 1-person tent. You can either set it up horizontally or vertically depending on your needs and your available space. The extra room is where the second person can sleep. To do this, you need the same setup as that of a 2-person tent, except that you will have to separate the 2 walls in your tent and make room for another person. Now you know a little bit of the difference between these 2 ways of camping and how they work. You now also have an idea of what can be done with hammock camping and what is needed to be able to camp with it. The next part will help you decide which one is best for your needs and expectations. We are almost wrapping up. These are the common differences between these 2. Hope you liked this video. Please comment, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos.